This should be interesting with Tian Chen showing up. Should be interesting. We'll see if it's a trap. We are talking about it was a trap before. We'll see if it's a trap. Yeah. What the heck? Good question. What is the time frame on them being missing? It's very recent, correct? Mm. 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 Oh man. No. No, he's not. Girl, now you know you've never seen this man drop tears like that. Come on now. Come on now. You know what you saw. Lock in, Chang, please. Mm. Wow. That's interesting knowledge because if you didn't know, when you black out, it's your brain deciding not to store memories. That's why it's a black. That's you don't remember anything because it's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna keep this. I'm not gonna bother committing this to memory. So it's interesting that lose like he wouldn't be able to see anything during a blackout. Nothing to see. Gotcha, gotcha. Do y'all speak the same language? I'm not gonna like. Oh God. Oh. Like sometimes it's annoying that Chang still acts like himself and like be talking out loud and stuff. That low key be annoying. It's like, come on, like you've used your abilities enough to not do that. You guys are having this loud ass conversation in this hallway. Like, come on now. What the heck? Oh my God! What? How'd you? How did he even time that? Yo! Oh! Oh! Yo! This is crazy. Fetch the knife. Hey! You made me catch a body? I didn't try to help him. He threw me down the stairs. Yeah, do not leave Felix in this situation. You can't leave him in this situation. He's gonna be so confused. Oh my goodness. Oh, he has an ability. He can control people. So we're getting to see a different kind of ability. Is his vocal command? Chang knew that, right? I is that not has that not been confirmed? Was that a theory? My thought process was that I damn. My thought process was always if you don't come back on time, you get stuck. Yo, Felix is a badass. Hold on. That was always my thought process because I assumed that because Lu used Chang's ability to go back and possess himself and stayed. That's why I thought that. Like if you didn't leave, you got stuck. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, I mean, Vane put hands and feet all over him. Is Lou gonna give up some information? Who's at the door? Who's at the door? Hey, it's Felix. That's not enough. That's not enough. Felix, Felix, Felix. Wow. I'm trying to spit this out. Was this an elaborate ruse to draw in Chang and Lu? Right? Was this an elaborate ruse, or are they up to something else? Like, is there something alternative going? Because it seems like we're hunting down gifted people. Because what are the chances that one of the people in that house that the whole squad was pulling up to, Vang Tianchen, everyone's pulling up to go get Felix, seemingly with another gifted person here, right? Granted, it's been time since we've seen Felix since the Burnout arc, but it seems like he's down with the stuff with Vane and company. Whether he's fully in the know, I don't know, but he's up to something, being involved with them because he's got hands. He clearly was able to handle this situation himself, and then Vane showing up as and Lu Zhao collected Tianchen. So when that's why, yeah. So it's like one, Felix could handle himself in that situation, which is why he was left there by himself. And then Vane and Tianchen coming there, it's just backup. Like they're gonna handle that compound perfectly fine. So I'm like, are they just on the hunt for other gifted individuals? Or could this have been like a back door? Let's make sure that this gets televised so we potentially could draw in Lu and draw in Cheng Xiaoxi. We could potentially draw them in, you know? That's why I'm like I'm very intrigued at where this is going. Also, just to state it again, I didn't remember that that wasn't something that was established, the whole 12 hours thing. I thought that, and that was my thought process because I have a feeling I'd have to go back and like rewatch the videos or whatever. I feel like we had a conversation. Was this during season 2 or would this have been during the Bridon arc where we talked about it had to be during season 2 because we see Tianxi and her ability seemingly transfer upon death, right? And then we get to see the flashback of Chang dying and lose arms, and then time passes. He's sitting at the desk. He claps. He disappears. From that conversation, I think that's where I got it in my mind. Is like, okay, so Lou used Chang's ability to go back in time, and I'm like, that means he's possessing himself. So like he's completely just overriding himself. So he's just jumping into a previous version of himself. And that was my assumption is he stays there, overwrites himself, and just permanently just copies over himself with Chang's ability. And then he fuses with himself. And I can't remember what we said, but he doesn't have Chang's ability seemingly anymore, right? He seemingly doesn't have Chang's ability, so he must lose it after a certain amount of time, which is why we thought potentially that what's her name? I always forget her name. That she would eventually, if she would lose Tianqi's ability potentially. That's what like he lost. Like that's I think that's why it was stuck in my brain where I'm like, yeah, like you get stuck if you stay too long, because Liu doesn't have Chang's ability seemingly, and he definitely used Chang's ability to go back in time. So I think now that leads me to wonder what are the limitations of everyone's ability, because I feel like everyone's ability must have a hard stop, like a negative to that positive, you know? So it's like, I don't think like Chang's ability can't be the only one that has like this catastrophic, if I get lost back here, I end up overriding this person, I become this person, you know? Each ability has to have some sort of like fatal flaw. That's my thought process anyway. Like there has to be some sort of fatal flaw with every ability. Otherwise, that's just not fair to Chang. Man, that was a good episode. Threw me for a loop. Because the whole episode, we can't leave Felix in this situation. We can't. Like, that would suck, leaving Felix in this situation just to wake him up in the midst of all this chaos happening. And then it's like, boom. In the midst of all this chaos happening, we swap back, and Felix is able to handle the situation better than we could have. And he had backup on the way. So, craziness, man. Absolute craziness. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, he like looked around, assessed it, called him out, and he looked around, seen dude was frozen. That's why I'm like, the abilities didn't bother him. And then when you get Vayne to show up, it's like, yeah, abilities wouldn't bother him. Dude was frozen and he could notice it, kicked the hell out of him. Bah! Kicked him and then called him out and started, this crazy. That's absolutely wild. That is so wild. That is so wild. All right, so we what I'm also, and this will be the last thing and then we'll get up out of here. One thing that I am very intrigued by, because it's the first time that it's happening. I think it's voice activated, because we're getting to see different activations, right? Tianchen's he's controlling someone by touch. Chang has the ability to go back in time and control someone. Liu has the ability to see what people are going through and get into be in their head. And now we have someone with the ability to control someone with their voice. So I'm gonna assume like we're gonna get the entire gambit of like the whole spectrum of like touching, seeing, talking, hearing. Like I'm pretty sure we're gonna get every spectrum. That's my thought process. But last thing I'm gonna point out, Yeah, Tianchi can see memories, but she can't see the future. We're gonna get there's got to be like a an inverse to every single one, like an opposite, almost like Yomi no Tsugai, where it's like you have the this version and that version of a demon. You have to have both. I would assume each ability has like a counterpart. But last thing, and I want to make mention of this because it seems it's a big focus of this season that we didn't get to see in any previous season. We've gotten to see Lou's thoughts and him being worried and not wanting certain futures to come to pass. But multiple times so far this season, we've seen him crying, and I feel like like it's something to note because what it seems like is that this like Lou has gone back multiple times, like he's gone back in the past multiple times, and Chang dies differently every single time. And what I think these intense emotions are coming from is obviously reliving and having these memories flash in his head. But a part of it, what I definitely think that is contributing to this is the unknown. Because remember, in season 2, we saw that Lou experienced Chang dying in the subway tunnels. And we circumvented that, you know? So we passed that death marker. So now it's unknown if or when Chang will die next. You know, it's up in the air. There's seemingly no foresight. There's no lived experience to be like, I know what to do. Or I know like when this is going to happen. I know I need to avoid this. So it's like he's so fragile right now. That's what it feels like to me anyways. Like he's extremely fragile because we seemingly are in this state of unknown and Lou doesn't know what's coming around the corner. That's why he's like so like in like he's like we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. One, for the time limit, but two, it's like I don't need anything bad to happen. Right? I don't need anything bad to happen. And it makes me wonder, like what you're saying, how many times can Lou jump and keep going? There has to be a physical limitation. Like Steins Gate connection. How many times can you continue to go back to the same spot and relive this same moment to failure? How many times can you actually do that? I think that is like a valid question because going through something as traumatic as losing the person that as a child you felt saved you, and we don't know what time shenanigans are afoot, seeing from that episode that there was an adult Chang back with little Lou. So it's like Chang means that much. How many times can you live through that? I don't know if we get to the end of this season and Chang dies and we have to watch Lou do it again. Like I don't know if we'd survive it. So man, great episode. I'm calling it here. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. And I'll see you next time. Peace out.